Okay, and welcome back to another episode of Under the Lights of Bodybuilding podcast, a podcast brought to you by female bodybuilders, here to highlight female bodybuilding. And we are very excited as we are joined today by Rosie Hardy, an extremely exciting prospect for the 2026 season, heading into figure NPC. You will all know about Rosie. She's had an extremely successful couple of months being said, coming together with some incredible businesses, companies. She's being recognized for all the hard work that she's put in. I can put your codes and things down below, you know, engineered muscle, team person Hannah, you know, so
Collaboration of the season.
it is so great to have you here though, Rosie. So thank you so much for, spending time. We know you're on prep, we know you got shit to do, steps, etc. So yeah, just thank you for your time basically, mate.
Yeah,
thank you for having me. I'm excited.
No
Good,
problem.
good.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll start from the very beginning. Like, tell us a bit about yourself, Rosie, like where you started, how you started, and just go from there, really. Because like you said to you a minute ago, I know of you, but I think a lot of people don't really know about you. So, like, how did you get into this circus of people? I suppose the bodybuilding industry is just a circus.
Well, literally, we see her physique, but we don't know what's inside her head, right?
Yeah,
it's just a physique, just a monster physique.
You don't want to know what's in there, to be honest with you. I don't know myself. I've always done sport since I was younger. I swam competitively until I was 12 or 13, maybe 14, and then got injured. So went to Olympic weightlifting and then competed for England and GB for the youth teams with Olympic weightlifting.
Just drop that in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it was Commonwealth Youth Games. That was in Samoa as well. So that was a nice little trip, actually.
Wow. So did you have, obviously within your Olympic lifting side, did you have any specific lifts that were like your lifts? You know how with powerlifting, it's like, oh, my bench is the best or whatever. Was there a specific lift for you that you were like, yeah, that's my one?
My snatch was definitely, that sounds awful when I'm just saying it normally.
My snatch was top tier.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's not a great sport to talk about, to be fair, because then you've got your clean and jerk, and I was going to say my jerk was always crap.
Yeah, what are they playing at?
I know.
They need to think more about podcasts, so yeah. That's hilarious.
But yeah. What was your numbers then? Did you have like, numbers that you would be hitting?
So when I was lifting as a 63 kilo lifter, so you have to be under the 63 kilo mark. And I think the best snatch I did was like 73 or 74 kilos when I was younger. So it was going well. And then I bombed out at the Commonwealth Youth Games. If you don't get, if you miss all, you get 3 attempts at your snatch and you get 3 attempts at your clean and jerk. If you miss all 3 attempts at your snatch, you're out. Like, you can't go and do your clean and jerk. And they put me in too high on my snatches, so I bombed out on it. So then I had a little head wobble, and I think I kind of lost my head a bit. And then they kept trying to go back. And then my back injury and my shoulder injuries flared up from my swimming. And I was like, I think that's...
Because how long did you do swimming for, Rosie? Like, was that like from the very young age too?
Yeah.
Obviously, just before. Yeah, fair. What was your main stroke?
Butterfly.
Yeah, well, that's a shoulder destroyer in itself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what it was. I had bursitis in both my shoulders. And then they think my back injury was from, like, hyperextending on the backstroke starts. So I've had cortisone injection in my back, and then I've had cortisone injection in my shoulder, and it just did nothing.
So you were never natty then?
Yeah.
I'm a fake.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's
No, so yeah, I can imagine, mate. Like, that kind of level of success from such a young age, like that's quite a point to be able to try and like hit that level of like even dopamine and achievement again, right?
Yeah.
Like I can imagine having injuries, and you hear it, a lot of bodybuilders have come to where they are today because they were in football and they were so successful, but then they had an injury, so they had to then do the XYZ. So as Sara and I were speaking on the podcast before, maybe everything happens for a reason, right?
Firm
Like,
believer of that.
yeah, do you feel that, so off the back of that, how did you then segue into bodybuilding? Was it quite, I guess you're already in the gym, you're already lifting weights. I guess it's like quite an easy swap.
Yeah, because I would always like, I think when I got into Olympic weightlifting, I was always kind of like interested in it. And then I was like, well, at least if I go to the gym, like, I can just work around it. And that's what I love about bodybuilding. I say it all the time, and people probably get bored of me here, like saying it, but you can pretty much always train. Whereas when you're doing a sport like Olympic weightlifting or swimming, if you're injured, you're out. Like if you're swimming and you've hurt your shoulder, you're fucking kicking up and down the lengths for the whole of the 2 hour session. Like if your back's gone, Olympic weightlifting, you can't pull anything off the floor. You can't squat. You can't snap. You can't do anything. Whereas bodybuilding, like providing it's not proper serious, like you can always do something. Like you can always work, even if you've got a niggle, you can always still train. Like you've still got that dopamine hit, which I think because I've done sport since I was so young, I'm so used to it now. Like mum always used to say when I used to live at home, if I hadn't been to the gym, she could tell, and she'd turn around and be like, "You haven't been to the gym, have you?" And I'd be like, "No," and she's like, "I can tell." Because I'm just horrible. I'm just a horrible person.
You're a cunt today.
Yeah, you're being an asshole. Fuck off.
Yeah, and I get it. But like, my background's obviously like sports therapy, and I work with loads of athletes, like pitch side and doing physio and rehab. And the worst thing that you could say to an athlete is to stop. And you used to see like these fucking doctors and GPs and stuff being like, "Well, don't move for like 12 weeks," like to an athlete, and you think, "Fucking hell, like that's just asking for trouble." So doing something, even if you like got an ACL, you can still do upper body work, or if you've got a shoulder injury, you can still do lower. Like one of my clients at the moment fell on the stairs and she's got a buggered shoulder, but we just go into the gym, do some leg training. Obviously, you know, can't do like fucking squats or anything, but there's ways that you can even like fucking giant setting leg extensions and leg curls. Like it's still movement, it's still something, you're still getting that hit. Like that's the best thing, like you said about bodybuilding, is you can work around it if you're willing to work around it.
Yeah. Because I think as
Like
well, sometimes when you are injured, you get yourself into that hole when you're like, oh, well, if I can't, because I think as well, bodybuilders, they're very all or nothing a lot of the time. And I think that's where I'm better now than I used to be, because I was so all or nothing. If one thing went wrong, like that was a downward spiral. And it's getting yourself out of that. But when you get told not to do anything, it's like, oh, well, I might as well eat shit. I'll eat feelings. I won't do anything. I won't help myself in the slightest.
Yeah.
When you
like,
better,
well,
like, why don't I do
fuck
that?
off. But like,
Can't be
like, well, I'm not going.
So after you kind of were told that, you made the decision that Olympic lifting kind of wasn't for you, and you know, even I guess like swimming, everything was kind of in your head. Was it quite difficult to kind of then move into something else? Because were you like, well, I'll probably have to stop this again as well, or were you like almost welcome to it? Because I guess there was no pressure that came alongside training like bodybuilding.
I can't really remember. It feels like a very long time ago. But because I did bodybuilding training for a long time before I even thought about competing.
Yes.
But I used to spend hours. I was one of those people that would train every day. I wouldn't have a rest day. I'd go at 9 o'clock at night and be there until 12. Like, I just loved it.
You can tell. Like, that's why you look the way you do. Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Genuinely. Like, you can tell that you've spent years training before even thinking about stepping on stage. Like, that you would just, regardless of how you feel, you would be training. Like, that's how you do get a physique like yours, without the, like, excuses and, you know, things like that. So, you know, I think that's something that probably a lot of people need to hear,
Mm.
that a lot of people do potentially look at your physique and think, oh, she's so genetically gifted. We hear that all the time regarding like Olympians and things like that, don't we? Now, yes, there is the genetic component, and I even spoke about it for myself, how I feel like I'm absolute, like I'm a doorknob. But with yourself, yes, you've got some beautiful structure, but that muscle wouldn't be there without the work, right?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like I've had my periods of like when I spiraled very badly after my first prep, and I was hating training. I was not in a good place, and then the same thing happened probably maybe a year ago.
Yeah,
Like, so it hasn't been like 100%
yeah,
all of the time, but
yeah.
I don't think everyone is. But it's
No,
finding.
no.
I think each time things like that happen, you kind of develop as a person in a way. And like you said, everything happens for a reason. I think those times in my life have happened to teach me what's important and what I actually want to do. Because without those, I don't think I'd appreciate bodybuilding for like where I am now, in the place that I'm in now.
With you, if we dive back to your first prep,
Mm.
obviously it seemed from the external to be such a successful prep, right? I think you achieved first place PCA, you got the overall as well, I
Yeah,
believe. So it seemed like I say from the external, like, oh, incredible. Um, Obviously coming from a sport where your diet mattered, but
yeah,
you didn't necessarily have to eat specific things, I can imagine. It was more fuel instead of, oh, you look a certain way by eating a certain thing. You find that quite difficult with having to make that change within your nutrition side of things.
I think because I macro tracked for a very long time, like when I first started bodybuilding, and then I did my first off season, and that was great. But then I think I don't think I had the habits in place that I thought I did. Like compared to now, like I have my set meal times, my food doesn't change, all of that, water, everything. So I didn't have that. Like I think some days on my last prep, I think I was having my last meal at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I was hungry.
We've all made that mistake. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
we've all
well,
been
maybe
there.
not all, but I remember it one in my first prep one day, I had my final meal at midday.
And
Yeah.
then you think, oh shit, why have I done that?
I was literally like, oh dear God. I still didn't eat off plan,
No,
but Jesus Christ, that was dumb. Like,
yeah,
oh, but like you said, those little things, they really do matter. Like your salt level, like meal timings, like even your sleep, like they really do add up. And until you start doing those things, you don't realize.
no,
But like, say if you have a night's sleep where you've had 2 hours or something like that, the next day you're ravenous, like you're
yeah,
so hungry.
yeah,
And again, if you eat like a meal an hour apart and then you finish one at like 4 o'clock, you're gonna sleep like shit because you're starving. Like
yeah.
it just all adds up, doesn't it? So with the prep itself, like, were you happy with that first prep? Like, do you feel, looking back, was that how you expected a prep to go?
I think it's hard, isn't it? Because your first prep, like you never really know what to expect.
Yeah.
You hear what to expect, but until you actually go through it, I don't think you really understand how shit it can get. And I think
That's it in a nutshell. And that's the end of the podcast, guys.
first prep, don't fucking bother. Just never prep. You'll be fine. But it was, I think, my starting position, like especially compared to my start position for this prep, like I had a lot to get off, and I
Mm,
had to do a lot to get that off. Um,
mm.
But yeah, I think it's more like if I had the habits and the routine that I have now, I think that prep would have been a million times better than what it was. But like you said, like you don't realize those things, especially because I'm not overly absorbed, or I don't consume a lot of bodybuilding. Like I don't look at a lot of bodybuilders. I don't fangirl over a lot of bodybuilders. Like I kind of stick to myself and just
It's
get on
funny
with
when
it.
when you have that conversation with people, especially when you're like prepping and stuff. I don't watch any bodybuilding stuff because our lives are bodybuilding. Literally, we work bodybuilding, we fucking breathe body. So like in my time when I'm ending my day with bodybuilding, I don't want to sit on the sofa and watch bodybuilding. I want to watch something completely. That's why I
Yeah.
do so much paranormal stuff, because it's
Yeah.
so far away from bodybuilding.
Gives you
That it
that
just
break.
gives me that break, and it doesn't make me love bodybuilding any less. I just, it's just nice to have a bit of a break. So like you saying that, Rosie, I'm sure people were like, oh, actually, it's like, I don't have to force myself to watch bodybuilding all the time. It doesn't make me any less of a bodybuilder.
I am a little guilty, like for sure. Just to like weigh in a bit of like, I think I obviously speak to so many people all day, every day, pretty much just about their competing, their bodybuilding, being a person that has so much client interaction, that is typically my conversations. But I think the other side is like, I'll have my pre-workout meal and I'll be watching like a YouTube, and I really do enjoy that. But I definitely have a line, and this is where the rhythm of the tism comes in, because Nat is someone that, so he has to listen to a podcast before bed, right?
Yeah.
He, like, not before bed, like literally in bed to go to sleep. And he if he puts on something bodybuilding, I'm like, nope, get it, douche. I'm like, I love it. Only because though, I'm almost like not the opposite to what you say, Sara, but like for me, I'll start listening and almost wanting to start taking
And you get fired up.
I'm like,
Yes,
so
I
like
can't do it. I
I
get fired up.
I can't listen to bodybuilding to wind down, because I'm like, this is education. Let me write this down.
That's it. Bang
Right?
on.
Yeah.
Please don't trademark me, Cuba, for saying write that down. But no, so
Yeah.
it's instead.
That's why I can't do it, because I'm just like I want to go train now, and it's like 9 p.m. and I'm like, it just fires me up too much.
Yeah. So I hear it on like both sides, because like I said, basically we'll like sit and watch something before we go to bed, right? And it's never bodybuilding related. So it's always like, actually, I love horrors. So you know how I replied to your like stories the other day. I'm obsessed with horrors, but I put my hands up to you, sorry, because I could not do what you do.
No,
They would come home with me. I know it. I would be
follow you out.
they would end up, something would happen, and I would end up having some like exorcist child, like I know it. It's just would happen to me, trust.
No, well, the thing is, right, it's the reason I do that is because I get the same hit of adrenaline as I do from bodybuilding.
Yeah,
I
I
get,
can
I get
imagine.
hits of adrenaline from both, right? I mean, I'm far more fucked from the paranormal stuff, because it takes such a toll, because you're in the dark, fucking pissing wet for like 6 hours. I said to Callum, I checked in with Callum after one of these investigations, and I lost over 2 kilos. And I said to him, because just from the adrenaline, right? And I said to him, I was like, Callum, I've been on a ghost hunt. Like, I don't know what's happened. And he was like, yeah, checked in, mate, nice. He just completely blew over the fact it was like a paranormal thing. And I was like, well, there we go. But yeah, honestly, like, and my partner is even more incredible, because she is so like, she's been in sport for years, and she's just fucking like, I'm gonna go for it. Like, she's a goalkeeper through and through. And I remember we were doing our first investigation, and we got asked to just like split off and go into these separate rooms in the dark on ourselves. And she was like, right, I'm first up, I'm going in. And I was like, how the fuck can you? And my missus has a beautiful poker face. She don't give a fuck, right? So she was just there, like, with a really poker face, like, I ain't scared. And my manager said to me the other day, I was like, because my partner's called Alita. She's like, does Alita ever get scared? And I was like, you know what, Naomi? I fucking couldn't tell. I've been with her 10 years. Her face never changes. She could be happy, she could be scared. It's always the same.
It's just a ready face.
Yeah.
But no, anyway, I don't even know. Oh my god, I've lost our train of thought. What were you talking about?
Other aspects of like
Oh yeah,
doing other
other
things.
aspects. So I guess for you, Rosie, then, what would you say is how do you like wind down then for if you're not consuming yourself with like bodybuilding, like what would you do outside of, what do you do for work? What do you do as like, I guess, hobbies? Because if you're not consuming that content, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I'm full-time quantity surveyor. So that's like my full-time job. I then got the coaching alongside that, which I'm trying to juggle with that. And then so I only really have the weekends because especially now that I'm on prep, like I'm up at 4, do my check-in if I need to do my check-in, cardio, steps before work. I usually get to work a bit early so I can leave a bit earlier, come home from work, eat, go to the gym, train, come home from the gym, go to bed. Woo!
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I
Beautiful.
do like to bake though. I do like baking.
Oh, really? Well, when you visit me,
Yeah, I don't know what you can and can't eat. Last time I tried to buy you a Monster and I got pied off. Can't have that. Do you remember that?
yeah, the monsters are literally like fucking kill me, bruv.
Still.
It's just sweeteners. I've now, well, there's a few things. We'll talk about it on a different time.
I
No
can
one wants
guarantee you
to
my
hear that.
brownies have no sweetener in.
You
Just
what?
fat and sugar. My brownies have no sweetener, just sugar.
That's
Fat.
it. Full sugar. Fuck me up. Come hit my face,
Sorted.
Fine by me.
Cool. I thought them out.
Oh, I love that, mate. No, that's it. That's obviously I completely understand, yeah, every day you do just seem to tick along, don't you? Tick the boxes. And I know you're very close to your family as well. So and Highland cows, those are big pieces of your life.
I love how you're like your family and Highland cows.
I'm
On the
sorry.
same level.
They are for Rosie. They are. Um, so yeah, there's a lot that's like going on with this prep this time round. What's been other than
I'm
the start?
sorry, we can't just fly over Highland cows. We can't just.
What it is.
Do you just really like Highland cows?
It's not just. It's just cows in general.
Is that why you were posing bikinis like cow?
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering.
No, like genuinely, she loves cows.
Interesting.
That
That's not. No, I've no more
I
words.
honestly would say that's probably all there is to it. Oh, is she?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, she's back.
I
That's
mean, we
okay.
each have our own things, Cows.
We'll talk about sheep instead. No, with the difference between like this prep and last prep, other than your starting position, like yeah, what would you say has been the biggest difference? None of it.
No, I honestly, I feel like a different person this prep compared to last. Like compared to where I was when I started. Like I think I used my first prep very much as like a coping mechanism, maybe to try and get myself out of the shitty position that I'd got myself in. So then. Through prep, like my relationship with food now compared to then, miles apart. Like the way that I can handle my emotions, worlds apart. Like I don't self-sabotage myself all the time anymore. Like because that was one of the things that would screw me over all the time was just the fact like if you wake up and you feel shit all day, like that's the whole day written off. Like I would just not help myself at all. Whereas now, if I wake up and I feel like shit, it's just like it's a shit moment. It's not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shit day. Do you know what I mean? Whereas last time or before, I would just drag it through the whole day, even the next day or the next day. I know that that's not worth it now. And I think because I don't know whether I've kind of realised that I might have a potential to do well. That's kind of helped a little bit because like when I won the overall and I won first place, I felt nothing. and that sounds very ungrateful, but like I'm just not. I've never been one to be like proud of myself. Like I've never really felt that, and like even then I didn't feel it. And I think the end of my prep last time was a fucking shambles because of the self-sabotaging. And I think because of that, even though I got the result that I did, I thought, well, you still haven't done what you should have done, so
Yeah, I think
don't deserve it.
me and
Someone
Han,
else on stage wouldn't have got it, or
yeah. I think, well, me and Han said this about confidence and arrogance. Like, there's so many things nowadays where we're so afraid of being like, actually, I did really well, or you know what, I should have got first, or I did get first, but I just still not. You were good enough to win your category and win that overall. Like, not many people can say that. Like, do you know what I mean? Because the way people are, oh, you can't be proud of yourself, or you can't be. Yes, you can. Like, and I had it when we spoke about it on the last podcast. When I came second in my debut, like I was like, that's not good enough. It's fucking is, because it's you come second in the debut. Do you know what I mean? Like, but we're so self-critical that we don't take that time to step back and actually be like, I fucking did that.
Yeah.
It's like, and like, you know, we are robots to an extent because, you know, we just do the same shit every day, but we are also human beings. And I do think that having the opportunity to be like, actually, you know what, I wasn't good enough. It's a learning, it's a way that we can learn about how we respond to things. You know what I mean? And reflection is such a key part of us. What I feel that reflection should be a key part of what we do as athletes, because it allows us to look back and actually kind of digest our emotions and be like, right, why did I feel this way? What do I need to change in order to change the way that I feel? Like, so knowing that you felt that way, has it kind of changed the way that you've thought about going into this prep? And you know, if you say you rock up to a show and you win, or if you come second or third, like, are you kind of, do you know how you want to feel with that, or are you just letting fate decide?
Think about it too much.
Fair. Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? Because you've got to manage your expectations, but at the same time you also want to, like, I'm always someone that has a big goal, so it's balancing the emotions that are linked to both of those things, because like you want to expect the best from yourself, but then at the same time you don't want to focus too much on that rather than just the process in general. I want to enjoy this prep and be proud and know that I have done everything possible when I get on that stage. And then regardless of the result, I know I could not have done anything more. Whereas I think last time, I don't even know what I was thinking last time, to be honest. It seems like a lifetime ago, but I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot of emotion and it's a lot of things to take in when you're doing your first prep, like the expectations, like trying to figure out or seeing people that are coming up on it. Because I had someone that was supposed to was competing in the same category as me, training in the same gym as me. So I don't like, if I end up getting a gist that someone is competing in the same, I mute straight away, because for me, I don't want to see people's updates, because regardless of how confident you are in yourself, you wobble. Yeah. And like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because it's not anything against those people.
No.
Like, at all. It's just for my headspace. Like, I had to do it today to someone because I was like, they might be. So I was like, just mute, because for me, that's the best thing for me to do. Other people probably don't feel like they need to, but
I think it's such a healthy thing. I do it in like other aspects too, like not even just competing. Like if there's some kind of content that I just feel is not something that's going to be beneficial. Like I really, really don't like, you know how some people love to do content that's bashing other coaches, or like even like imitating them, or like taking the piss, like, or if you don't do this, I'm like, yeah, it's just negative to me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I just mute. I have quite a few people muted, I won't lie. So, and again, it's because, you know, if you unfollow, then it's like drama, and it's not about that. It's not about them. They can be whoever they want to be. You don't want them to change, but it's not what you enjoy consuming, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
doesn't benefit you. So I think that's actually a really healthy thing to do, to be able to like keep your peace of mind.
Yeah.
I think something that we've spoken about as well is, and it leads me into, well, from what you just said there about, yeah, you would, and you got the overall, but you felt nothing. I've done shows where I have like won, but I didn't really like the look. I've got a perfect example actually. 2021, I won the WNBF British title, right? 2023, I came fifth place in Fit Body. You put those physiques next to each other. The physique that I fucking love is the fifth place. I look wow, I look diced. Like 2021, I look like a little girl. So, you know, placing, although that is like the aim of the sport, right? Sometimes it's kind of like, okay, would I rather, and I say this to clients as well, because it doesn't always go the way we want it to go. It's like, okay, would I rather like come the placing that I did do, but know that I've done everything and bring my absolute best and be so happy with what I've done, or win and bring a physique that they were maybe looking for that's like softer or this or that I wouldn't enjoy bringing. And sometimes you have to just be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll do what I want to do and
Yeah.
enjoy, right?
But
So
as well, but you don't know who's going to be there on the day. You don't know what the
That's
judges are going to want on the day. You don't know how you're going to look on the day. There is no point in, like, for me, I just try not to even think about the show, because it's going to be, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, you could be the only person on stage, or you could be in a stacked lineup and some monsters come on from God knows where. Like, you don't know, do you? Like, there's no point in stressing about it, because, well, first of all, it's going to make you look shit if you're stressing out all the time, and
yeah,
then
and you can't change it.
it's not going to do anything anyway.
Yeah, you can't change it. No, I entirely agree. I think that's, again, it's a really good headspace to be in. And it's probably something that I've spoken about before. And this isn't an insult to, you know, anyone that may have these characteristics, or, you know, even to yourself or me. My first prep, I was an immature athlete, right? And what I mean by that, like, I wasn't like an immature person, you know, I was 23 when I first stepped on stage. With again, when you reflect and you look back on who you were, my kind of self-development, like my mindset, all of that, I felt, now I can see I was so young in the sport, just having the years in the sport does make you a better athlete, regardless of the physique. It just makes you appreciate so much more and understand so much more without you even realizing, until you do look back. Like you said, you've looked back on your first prep and been like, God, that was just a different person. When reality is, you didn't say, okay, I'm going to make a change on this random day. You've just woken up every day and time has passed.
Yeah.
And you have become this different person.
Yeah.
That's
The
pretty
ups and downs, yeah.
Yeah.
Like downs, but
hey, you don't get sunshine without a few clouds before, you know.
I probably more like a thunderstorm or a tsunami, but
Yeah. We won't talk about the rain type.
I love it.
No. But,
So,
sorry,
sorry.
to add to that, like, at the end of the day, like, we all do this because we love it, right? Like, whether there's a stage at the end of it, I think we would all be bodybuilding. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think a lot of people nowadays, they do prep because of the glamour, the glitz of it, when I think a lot of people, if the stage wasn't there, they wouldn't do it. Whereas,
or Instagram wasn't there.
yeah, I was going to say social media.
Exactly. So, like, going through the process of prep and enjoying it and embracing it, like you said earlier, Han, like, when it gets hard, lean into it. Like, take that on, because you know it's working, and you know that every day that's hard, you're one step closer to presenting your best. And I think, you know, preps really has taught me actually how far you can take things, like, mentally.
Yeah.
It's a mental game, right? Your body can withstand fucking everything, whereas your mind not so much. So, like,
Yes.
actually taking yourself, I look back and I think, holy fuck, how did I even get through that day? But you just do, because you're like, right, I've got that at the end. Like, yeah, I'm loving this process. We just got to dig a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just embracing it and being like, right, one day at a time. Sometimes when things get so overwhelming in prep, and I speak to my clients about this, they think, oh, so I'm overwhelmed as fuck. Okay, like, let's drop it down to like half a day. Like, just focus on the next hour instead of the next week. Or we're so used to being like, I'm 9 weeks out, I'm 8 weeks out, I'm 7 weeks out. Whereas, like, myself this year, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to fucking go through the days, and I'll just turn up on stage whenever that may be. You know what I mean? Like, so enjoying that process, coming to the end of it and being like, I've done everything I fucking could. I think Rosie, for that, that headspace is the best headspace, because it's not for you, Rosie, because you have so much potential. Like, it's not a when, it's an if. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, it's not an if, it's a when. That sounded so mean. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, right?
It's an if, Rosie.
Prep's done for this year.
Sozhan.
No,
We're gonna be
I
the first to tell you. No, it's not. Right, you know what I mean. But so like,
oh, she's left now. She's left.
Right,
We're back here again.
but yeah, you know what I mean. Right, well, that's just that route. Yeah.
The
Right,
moment.
well.
No, I agree. I think it's one of those things where you do like look over the prep itself, and like you said, you do have to take it like that hour by hour at times, right? And it does challenge you. And I've spoken to clients about this before, of like, the thing about bodybuilding that I think muggles, normal people, don't understand is that you don't have any voices to lean on. So, and I think that's what's so incredible about a prep, is like, especially from my family culture, it's like, you've had a bad day, here's some ice cream. You've just celebrated this, have some Chinese. Like, it's food is like everything, or alcohol. Like, when I was living in London, like we spoke about on the podcast before this, Sara, and I was like in that hole, like that bad place. I was out drinking and doing God knows 4 times a week, because I didn't want to think, I didn't want to feel, I just wanted to numb whatever it was. And obviously, within British culture is seemingly changing, in my opinion, over the last couple of years. Again, I think it's potentially down to COVID. A lot of people are stopping going out, right? A lot of people are stopping drinking and things like that. But when you do a bodybuilder prep, you have to sit with your emotions. You have to sit and process whatever is happening, instead of just like, oh, I'm gonna just eat my feelings. Because I know I did that a hell of a lot when I was younger. And maybe is that why you think, like, post show for you, is that maybe what you were leaning on? It's just like, you came off stage, you were like, why am I not elated with the fact that I've just won everything? Like, this was the goal. Why do I not feel glad about it? I'm just gonna fucking eat whatever.
Yeah, because I think exactly what you've spoken about was what I was doing pre-prep, but because of the relationship that I was in, like, it was just normal. Like, we went out and drank all the time every weekend, and then it was just like back to normal on a Monday. And then obviously when I started prep, I couldn't do that. Wasn't with the partner anymore, so I don't think I processed a lot of things. And obviously, whilst I was on prep, like you said, you can't use those coping mechanisms that you were using before. So then I think mentally, like, my brain was probably thinking, what the fuck is going on? And then afterwards, you've obviously got the stress anyway of being off prep and like being a bit all over the place. I stopped my prep early because of how the last couple of weeks had gone. So it was kind of cut short, so it was pretty abrupt. So I wasn't prepared to stop my prep as well. So I hadn't mentally, and like obviously Taylor hadn't really had the chance to prep me for post show either. Like, you obviously talk about it, don't you, with your coach? And like, she was so good through my whole prep, and then I just completely spiraled after prep. And I think, like you say, it's just because of all those. So like, I obviously had a breakup, and then all of the things that I was not dealing with. And then, to be fair, you don't deal with a lot of things when you're on prep either, do you? Because you've got you constantly got something to do. Like, you've always got something else on your mind. Like, I've got steps to do, I've got cardio to do, I've got meal prep to do. Do I need to go to sleep? Yeah. So then I probably had all of that just come tumbling down on me as soon as I stopped prep. All this freedom. And I think that was just a recipe for disaster, to be honest. But it is what it is. Like it's a learning curve at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, and like I said before, if that hadn't have happened and these like down moments that I've had in the last couple of years hadn't have happened, like I don't think I'd be where I am now and the person I am now. I wouldn't have the control and like probably a lot more self-respect as well, like because I feel like for what I want to do, a lot of the habits that I used to have and a lot of the things that I used to do don't support that. And I know that even if I'm like, even if I have a bad morning, like fair enough, sometimes it's nice, you think, it'd be nice to go home and just have a pizza, but then I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah, because you know that if you did do that, you would be so disappointed in yourself because you've got that self-respect now. You're like, no, I deserve more than that. That short, sharp release of like, dopamine hit, whatever. You deserve to step on that stage and know that you've done everything in your power. So that's kind of like a beautiful thing to even discuss, to be honest. Now, I know you said that you're not like, counting down the days or anything like that. And that was actually something I wanted to touch on, Sara, is that when I started my prep last year, I actually, while she goes on an adventure to find a phone charger, I actually started my prep saying week 0, week 1, week 2.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And I only started saying X weeks out when I like either wanted to or in between shows or whatever like that. And honestly, it's the best thing I ever did because you're not there. Like the amount of people that are like 47 weeks out and you're like, brother, shut up. Like no one cares what you're doing at like what you know what I mean? Like it's just not that deep, is it? But if you are wanting to do updates and you are like in a different phase and stuff, saying maybe like week 1, week 2 and all that, like I think that's a lot better for your headspace to be, instead of counting down the days, it's gonna be cliche, but instead of counting down the days, you're making the days count, right?
Yeah, that's
Let's
true.
let's now sing Kumbaya, right?
Oh dear, but no, it is true, and plus as well, like time goes so fucking quick. We're always waiting for the next best thing, right? And I find like last year, even without prep, it fucking flew by. And then when you add a prep in where you are counting down the days, you blink and it's fucking Christmas again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it just feels like these years fly and we're kind of not wishing them away, but counting them down. They go even quicker, and you think, fucking hell, like, what the fuck? Like,
Scary enough.
Yeah.
But are we allowed to know which shows, or is that under wraps?
Plot twist, she's doing bikini. Imagine.
In my first, because I started prep first COVID year, and I was going to do bikini.
Really?
I smashed it, to be fair.
To be fair, with your waist, you know what? Like, and you were natural in your first prep, weren't you?
Yeah. I couldn't even use your himbind by the end of it.
Yeah, but you know what? That I'm really not surprised about. So I know like people that are now assisted that have used Clen and they've used your Himbine and Clen, they have no effects. Obviously, it's like, Clen cramps, whatever, but mentally no effects.
Yeah.
Whereas I know people that have used your Himbine and it actually mentally affects them. Like they are bad.
I was fucked.
And it wasn't until I stopped it. Person that I've heard it from.
Yeah, I stopped using it, and then it wasn't until I went back on, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is making me feel like fucking shit.
Yeah, and so many people just say, "Oh, it's natty, it's fine."
Yeah, well, you do though.
Yeah, like, it's when people have that underlying like anxiousness or like maybe a bit of anxiety there, right? Like if you're adding something that's going to naturally like increase your heart rate, it's as if you're just like having coffee all the time. I was speaking to a posing client the other day, and they're like have 8 cups of coffee a day. And I was literally like, how are you not vibrating? Like, how is your mental health?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you okay?
because I would just be like,
I think I don't even know how I would feel. I'd just be
Yeah.
fucking jittery as fuck.
you know what I mean? So if you imagine, that's all like your hip, well, it's not all your hip bone is doing, but it's increasing your heart rate. Like that's going to affect your headspace. Like I can completely understand that.
8 cups of coffee, that is a lot of coffee. How is she like distributing it through the day? Because she's gonna be having some coffee late, isn't she? Let's be honest.
Apparently the cutoff was still 2 p.m.
Fuck her now, she is banging them back.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Bloodstream is just caffeine, basically.
She must be one productive lady. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Or just rocking in a corner, like.
Yeah. Either way. Don't know.
But yeah, are you talking about, again, it's absolutely fine. If not, like, are you talking about which shows are you going, or maybe we could know a little bit of like, are you going to be flying anywhere? Are you
I
jetting
want
off?
to fly somewhere. It all depends on how the show's at the start of the season
Yes.
goes. We're just going to play it by ear. Because we've kind of ramped things up slightly recently because
Ooh,
I was the same weight for 4 weeks.
right.
So
Not what you want.
no, not at all. Especially
Visuals?
because
How were the visuals?
compared them, they were pretty much exactly the same.
Ah,
Yeah, and for me,
attention.
obviously, because now I'm assisted, we did assistance at the start. Wanted to push hard there because it's like you might as well, seeing as you've got the assistance in, and then not take your foot off the gas, but be in a good spot for when it comes out. But then half of that time that I was on assistance, I was the same, and I wanted to push. Obviously, you do on prep. Like my food's still on 2,000 calories a day. Like my food's not low at all. Like we had space to push. So I didn't know if I was even going to be ready for the shows that I wanted to do, but I think I'm in a better spot now. So let's see. It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because things happen so quickly as well, especially when you get to the last, like, what, 8 weeks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty much where I'm at now. Oh, I might as well just say where I am now, hadn't I? What shows I'm doing. I've just said it anyway.
Well, no, that's it.
Okay. I'm doing the first regional, Two Bros regional, and then the pro qualifier on the 11th of April. So we'll see, and then, but yeah, I'd like to go abroad, so we'll see how those go.
Oh, honestly, like Rosie, do an abroad. We said this. Yeah, it's an experience. States, Europe, like they're such fun shows.
Yeah,
and they're big.
That's what I'm a bit worried about doing because I know sometimes the shows at the start of the season are quiet, aren't they? Times. I think they're better now, but
I think so. We were discussing this before, where it's like at the start of the season, it's either the people that are like they start prep before Christmas, psychos. No, I'm joking. The people that start prep before Christmas, and they're like, it can be a real hit or miss, where it's like, no, there's people gunning for that first pro card opportunity.
Yeah,
it's usually the people that want it. Right? Like people that do the later end of the season, me, but like in general, really, like obviously it's a busier time, but it doesn't mean that the quality of athletes are maybe better. Yeah. Sorry, told me to do an Instagram post. It just is like, I would say it's more like filled out with other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas, the people that are doing the early shows, they're the ones that have been planning their timelines for however long, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that, they'll be any less of a caliber of athlete, but there might be fewer, but it'll still be good. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the show calendar is looking like for the European shows, but like the stages that stand out to me are like the Alicante and things like that. Like they're just, when I say big shows, I don't even mean about how many athletes, but like the stages, you literally feel like, not that I
Yeah.
know, it looks like you're on the Olympia stage. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
such
it's the whole
production.
thing.
The Emilio shows are the best ones, like the Spain, the Alicantes, like that kind of region. Because like even just posing and you've got a fucking widescreen TV angle of you, like it just makes you feel like an athlete instead of
Yeah.
just, you know what I mean? Like, and it
Yeah.
just gives you that confidence that you're like, I am supposed to be here. Like, do you know what I mean? And you just don't really get that here. You know,
No.
so like it's yeah, definitely go if you have the funds and the money and
Yeah.
things like that. Like go
I've
and
been
do
saving.
it. I've been saving. Yeah. So talking of like funds and stuff, obviously you're now linked up with Engineered, aren't you?
Yes, I am indeed.
When did you sign with Engineered?
Maybe 2 months ago, I think it was.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
Oh, they're swole. I'm not. They prefer speaking about the digestion and stuff like that. But honestly, the turbo swole.
Great, in it.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so good, so good. But yeah, no, I'm genuinely so happy. Like Riz and D are the nicest people I think ever. Like
Yeah.
genuinely
Riz is like
so
just
kind-hearted. Just
like
want
you
the
said,
best for
they're
everyone.
just so genuine, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like Riz has always been such a good egg, like both of them have, and I think what he's doing with Engineered is fucking sick. Like I think he's bringing out these class products, fucking just that actually say what they fucking do. They're not filled with shit, like
Yeah.
you know.
From someone that genuinely can't use anything else. Like I
Mhm.
can't. The
Yeah.
only products, only pre-workout that I can use is Riz's, because everything else has got sweeteners in it.
Oh
Like
shit, yeah.
yeah, like I can't have any EAAs, I can't have any pre-workouts or anything like that. The only pre-workouts I can have are tank mode and turbo pump.
Yum.
So he's literally saved my life.
I've got a video of me trying the tank mode for the first time.
It's unflavored.
I genuinely look like my soul has been ripped from me. Terrible.
Yeah, so
So
I mean,
good, though.
obviously, I drink it and I'm like, yeah, la la la, and then like now I'll have like a MVP or whatever it is, like a normal one, and then he had the Riz one, like the shouldn't call it really Riz, should it? Engineered one.
The Riz one.
The Riz one, yeah.
The engineered one, and like it's like it's obviously to normal people, to people that don't have digestive stress, it'll taste like shit, but I'm so used to it now. Like I don't even think it tastes like shit. I'm like, oh yay, my pre-workout, yeah.
I
Like
hope
a little
I'll get to that stage at some point, but I'd really have to
I
prepare
do still
myself.
gag a little.
There's been some close calls in the car. Oh, do you know what I did the other day? I made a rookie error. I forgot to put water in it before I got in the car, because normally I'll have it like 20 minutes to wait. And I had a Monster in my car. So I put a little bit of the Monster in, but obviously because Monster's fizzy, I couldn't shake it. And oh my God, the lumps in it. It was...
Why would you ruin a Monster like that, Rosie?
I know. I don't know. I thought it was a good idea at the time. Turns out it wasn't. I've learnt my lesson.
If anything, like we've discussed on today's episode, it's all about lessons, becoming better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I will remember
I think
to.
obviously we are all extremely excited to see this season out, but I think I would actually love to hear from you whether you are someone that you've got maybe the next 5 years in mind, 10 years in mind. Like, do you have an overarching goal, or are you, and it's absolutely fine either way, or are you someone that you're like, I'm just gonna see how this goes?
I would like to be in competitive bodybuilding for a long time. The goal is obviously to be the best that I can be, but I obviously have my boundaries, especially now with assistants and things like that. Like, I'm very adamant in how far I want to push those. And I feel like I'm quite lucky in the fact that I haven't had to push assistants hard at all.
Yeah.
And
You've got a good runway to go with.
yeah. So yeah, it's kind of, I know what I want, but I'm just going with the flow because I'm
Then
obviously
there's no
willing to push
pressure.
my body that far. So
Yeah.
it depends how far I can get before, or if I start getting size that I'm not happy with, then
Yeah.
that's
And I
kind of
think
where I take a step back, I think.
that's such a responsible thing, really, and like answer, because you don't know, do you? I know I am a natural athlete, so it's kind of like sounds like, Hannah, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. But from speaking to however many people over the years, of you don't really know your limit until you do get. It's almost like they use the filling of the cup analogy, don't they? I mean, Sara, you'll be able to probably provide a little bit more insight, because you do speak about like drug use so openly, and it helps so many people as well. But everyone's got such different tolerances for one thing, but also that you will potentially have absolutely no side effects from maybe your first cycle, and then the second cycle, it might just happen.
Yeah, like I think it's one of those things, right? When I started using, and this was like my first prep, it was like, sprinkling of Anavar, and that was about it, right? And I was always like, right, I'm never going to inject. And then, however long, I'm doing my first cycle of injectables. Oh, I'm never going to use like Femtest. I started using Femtest. So it's kind of like, I was always like, I'm never going to do this. And then I did, and then I did, and then I did. And it's kind of like, where you have to be so determined, like, to be like, right, I'm stopping here. Like for example, right, tren. Never in my fucking life will I touch tren, and believe me, a lot of women do at this level of sport. Like wellness girls, figure girls, they are fucking, the wellness girls are the worst for it at pro level. Fucking put tren through like they are on ridiculous cycles. It's crazy, Rosie. Honestly, crazy.
I'm too naive.
Yeah, and you wouldn't believe it. Like conversations backstage with some of these girls, like some of these coaches having conversations, and their cycles are worldy. Like it's mental. But that's something that I will never, ever, ever, ever do. If someone said the Olympia title or take 100 minutes of train a week, I'd be like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I'm out. Like, yeah, I just and you think like, how far can this go? Right? How far am I willing to push my body? And like I've had side effects, but in all honesty, I listened to a video of me about a year, well, must have been like 2-3 years ago. My voice was so fucking high, it was irritating. So steroids have actually done me a good. Do you know what I mean? Like bringing my voice. I was like, fuck, do I sound like that? That's fucking vile. So yeah, like, I think being so headstrong and being like, I will stop at this, it's a really good place to be, because once you kind of get addicted to that progress, like, and I'm very addictive personality, I will push, but I do still have boundaries. Being headstrong in that, and I don't want kids either, so I'm like, I don't really, I'm very kind of, have you ever wanted kids, Rose?
Never.
Yeah, fair. If I could have a kid that popped out at 18 and basically just left, that would be great. Yeah.
Look after me when I'm old. Yeah, fine.
And just looked after themselves, yeah. But no, like, being headstrong and knowing what you want is really important, because it can become very like, oh, what if I just dabble in this, and what if I just dabble in this? Like, when actually dabbling can open a lot of a lot of cans that can lead you to really, like, I guess life ruining things, where your face changes, your hair changes. Do you know what I mean? So being headstrong and that kind of thing is definitely something that I would always say to people, like, have your limits and don't go through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's one of the harder things, though, when you do kind of start dipping your toes into assistance, because at the end of the day, the only advice you can get is the advice that you get from your coach. And you don't know whether that advice is even the right advice, and if they've even got your best interests at heart. Like, you could scream from the mountaintops what your boundaries are and stuff, and you would just assume that your coach would listen to that and they would give you a protocol that would suit those boundaries. But I don't think that is always the case.
Yeah, and that's
a scary thing.
Yeah,
it's mental, how many people I have to have conversations with in like posing lessons, where I have to say, so are you natural assisted? Obviously, either one is absolutely fine. I just need to know to be able to guide you to the best federations for you, what you will suit, and then they'll be like, no, I'm natural. I had a lady, so it's actually so many people have used Clen and they're like, no, I'm natural. I'm like, well, you're not.
You're not.
Obviously, I do approach it in a much more like respectable way because it isn't their fault. Like, it is the fact that their coach has been like, a photo shoot. Oh yeah, just take this. It's fine. Like, don't worry about it. But I've even had people that are like, yeah, so I did a cycle 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm gonna do natural shows now. I'm like,
You can't.
I mean, with NPC, their rules are that it's 3 years, da 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 da. That's fine. But like this person believed that they were fully natural now and they could do any shows.
Mhm.
I don't like. Obviously, that's come from the coach.
Yeah.
Like again, like you say, you put so much trust in them that you are going to take what they say as gospel, aren't you?
Yeah. Because you've got
And it's
nothing else, have you?
yeah, no.
Yeah. And I think that's why, like, it is so important to speak so openly about assistance as a female, because at least you can fucking bounce off each other and be like, I've done this, have you? How did it find? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've run cycles of Anadrol before, I've done this, like, because I want to be able to be like, look, I've done that, don't fucking do it, it's a stupid idea, do X, Y, and Z instead. Like, being open about it is so important. And I don't know why more ladies aren't open about it. Maybe it's the criticism that they might get online. Maybe it's, I mean, I know,
I
I
don't
understand.
think it's that, I don't think it's the criticism. I'm probably gonna get like put my foot in it here. I think a lot of people don't want to admit they're on assistance because they're following their clientele. They believe they're natural because at the end of the day, unless you're in bodybuilding, you just wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They keep it quiet because they look great. So their clients don't realize that that's not achievable without assistance. So they're almost like getting whatever from it because people want to, look like them more. I personally believe that's the case.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, but it's like, and that's what I have a massive issue is it's this false perception of what is achievable. Like, you have these girlies, and I've spoken to so many of them that, oh, I want to do this and this, and she's got like these girlies that are obviously on assistance, being like, I want to be like that, and you think, like I can get you so far, but then
and you don't want to be that person to be like,
That's the bubble.
not be able to do that naturally. They'll be like, what do you mean? What are you trying to say about me? I mean, funnily enough, well, two bits of what you spoke about there of like, so I do want children. I like can't wait to have kids. And for me to potentially be able to have children, I actually might use assistance to improve my actual health. Which sounds so backwards to probably people listening that maybe don't understand like blood work and things like that. But me and Sara were talking about it on the me episode. Like my actual blood work and hormones they're not in a good place because natural bodybuilding isn't healthy. And it wasn't just natural bodybuilding that caused it, like the levels of lean that I get to, etc. Like my testosterone levels are so low before that. But like, your FSH, your LH, etc. Like at the end of the day, I think the issue is that people think about assistance and they think of like 0 to 100, here's the assistant.
Yeah.
You can utilize assistance to make you healthier. Like if I gave myself a dose enough to actually put me in mid to high range of, say, testosterone, I would feel so good. I can imagine. Right?
I mean, I can imagine.
I can imagine. Like, but that's fact because, I even see it with friends and family that aren't in bodybuilding. Like, men that are over 40, family members, etc. Like I sometimes want to say to them, like, please let me give you testosterone because you can see it in their physiques that they're so low testosterone, like, what I'm talking about, that fat like deposit, like the man boobs, etc. when they are healthy individuals, but also the mental side of it. Like they're depressed individuals because I know for a fact that their testosterone is through the floor. So I think the issue with assistance is that the perception of assistance is that people believe that if you are assisted, you are taking tren. When reality is, there's such a spectrum of ways that you can utilize it. And that's coming from a fucking natty, you know?
I think that's the other thing as well, like you can be assisted, but if your training's crap and your nutrition's crap and the sleep's crap, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, you need it all, or there's no point.
I've had people like just straight right ask me in the gym like, "What's my cycle?" I'm like, "Oh, you're not going to ask how long I've been training for. You're going to ask how much I eat." Like, it doesn't matter the 10+ years I've spent in the gym bodybuilding. Like, that doesn't matter. It just matters about the cycle. And you think, fucking hell, like, man, that's what's wrong with this industry is the fact that people ask, "What's your cycle?" before they ask, why are you lifting that or what are you eating? Like, do you know what I mean? And that's when we were like, we were saying about bodybuilding.com, Han, when we were younger, right? Like, I just wanted to fucking lift heavy and just go to the gym all the time, eat my meals, and just fucking be Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, and DLB, and just be those people. Like, I was always sat, when I first started out, I was like, I'm going to be natty forever, right? And I was like, I'm just going to learn. And I learned. And like, and nowadays, people are obviously learning, but they're just going cycle first. Like, this peptide kick, like,
they're learning the wrong way.
that's it. Like, everyone using these peptides, like, they didn't use peptides fucking back in the day. So why now is it a necessity to have like 5,000 things being pinned every day because of maybe that little bit here and there? Like, we all can do it without. So why do we need fucking thousands of things being in our system? I don't want to pin anymore. Like, by the end of prep, I feel like a toxic waste bin. I don't want to do anything else. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm practically yellow.
I think it's the thing though, isn't it? It's like people want things easier. So peptides, everyone thinks that using peptides is going to make things easier. Whereas, like you said, you don't have to. It's the same with like using Retta and things like that at the end of a prep. Like, they never
Don't
used
get
to
me
do that.
wrong. Like, I think Retta has a place. I really do. Absolutely. Like, especially if someone's prone to having a really tough time after prep. Like, I've used it with a couple of my girls this year, and it's been an absolute game changer for post-show.
Yeah.
Like, they're not nervous about the show. We had a plan. Like, all my clients get plans after shows, but like, for them, they were completely different people, and it was amazing to see. Like, have no nerves, no show, and they just breeze through post-show. Like, I think Retta's very useful in that regard. I think if you're just like, I'm just gonna fucking throw it in, like, without really kind of knowing or why you're having it in there, like, I don't agree with that. But like, I think it has its place for sure.
Yeah. Right, so I know we had a few questions, but do you
Yes.
think that have we covered most of it? We might have, but we
I
had a
think
funny
so.
one.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, where is it? Someone asked, how do you use machines as a short person? Just, yeah, fuck. I mean, you got gangly gangle legs over here, Hannah.
I actually wrap myself around them like this, and then I get into it.
Like a fucking slinky.
Yeah. I take a step ladder around the gym with me.
Yeah. You know what? Some of the the cable rows, my legs are so fucking short. Like, I can't. You're just like, even if you're not even at a full stretch and it's like bottomed out, so you're kind of like starting. You have to be way back. Like, you can't even set the cable up because it's too fucking small. Well, you're too fucking small. So
Yeah, whereas I am literally the opposite. So, you know, like a lat pull down.
Yeah.
I was in a gym for a long time before that I couldn't sit on the seat because I'd be like this. So I would have to sit on the floor to be able to actually lat pull down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what
So,
else I really struggle with machines being small is how wide some of them are. So like
that I struggle with.
shoulder press, like especially like
You're
the
shoulder pressing
fucking
out here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. You're both massive. I'm not going to listen to that because imagine being me on that shoulder machine. I'm over here trying to lift.
Just like that.
Do you know what I mean? Nah. Try being small.
I love it.
Try having no muscle. It's a mission.
I haven't got any. It's all an illusion.
Yeah, that's it. When people are like, you're so jacked, I'm like, actually, I've just got plenty of layers on because I'm fucking cold.
I've actually got 6 jumpers on.
Yeah.
No, mate. Honestly, it's been so lovely having you on. We'll let you go so that you can
Yeah.
finish all the things that you need to
Thank
do.
you very much.
But yeah, thank you so much for your time. It's been
Thank you,
so,
Rosie.
so lovely. Of course, guys, if you are listening, I'll leave the links down below for like Rosie's Instagram and everywhere that you can find her so you can follow her journey, follow her road to stage, follow the road to, I'm not going to say it, follow the road to stage. But no, that is it for today. I think even the dogs had enough. So
Yeah, sorry, my partner's just come in. I'm gonna shut them. I mean, it's fucking. It's burning.
But if you guys did get to the end of this, please give us a like, give us a comment, let us know what you liked about the episode, what you want to see in the future. We've got so many incredible people lined up for you as well that we can't wait to share. And we will see you in the next one.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rosie.
Bye.
Bye.